I wonder what the legacy for Houseki no Kuni will be. Seems pretty daunting when you've been thinking about the series for the past 4 years, maybe a year for you. Maybe you've been here since the first chapter came out back in 2012, almost 12 years ago, but it seems kind of daunting. I don't think people will remember the hiatus. I don't think people will even mention a PS5. For those that are reading the story for the first time when everything is compiled, there is no wait for them. And that's a luxury. All these things that we obsessed about, whether it was who was going to save Foss in chapter 96, or maybe we'll get more of the gems, or even Lapis back into the story. It's just small obsessions. I think the Doctor points it out pretty poignantly in chapter 97 on how humans give meaning to these useless things, and at the end of the day, does it really matter? Maybe. But if you can't find meaning in anything, then can you just find meaning in everything? You don't even have to know any Buddhism to understand what this series is about. On a very superficial level, it's about a person, a gem, Foss, finding purpose in life. And that's what it all boils down to. Whether it was a purpose that was given to them by Congo with the natural historian, or a purpose they thought they found for them for others, such as Cinnabar, in finding a new job, at the end of the day, it was finding a purpose within oneself. And no matter how long that takes, one spring, couple years, 102 years, 10,000 years, millennia at this point, as long as you come to that conclusion on your own at some point, that's all that matters. But again, you don't need to know Buddhism to understand that. Every human has some kind of purpose to it. The 108 is an important number, an important meaning in Buddhism, but it just so happens that we ended on 108, I've obviously been doing some Buddhism readings, but it's not enough for me to talk about it. I mean, whatever's playing in the background of this video, it's just the bells tolling, an end of a masterpiece of a series, and the beginning of something new. Thinking back on everything that we've been through, I mean, I found this series back in the middle of the pandemic, in October 2020, and have been obsessing about it ever since. Now, obsessing about it by myself is fine, but I got to share it with all of you. Doesn't matter when you end up seeing this video or when you started following the channel, but we've grown pretty big, and it's kind of nice. But it also comes with its pitfalls, in a kind of sense. Just as obviously Ichikawa has been dealing with whatever she's been dealing with all the breaks that she's had. We have no idea what it is, but when you attach yourself to a series like this, even on such a small scale like myself, every little thing matters in a kind of way that it eats at your brain. Whether it's the views for when we returned in chapter 96, or even the unlisted videos prior to chapter 96 that I took down at some point because it just wasn't satisfied with it. On YouTube, views is all that matters, and algorithm is all that matters. And I mean, it's great to see people come back to this series after a couple years, and I'm glad you're here for the end. Or if you see this long after and you're like, what the heck is he even talking about? It's just part of the journey in this case that you missed out on, and that's okay. These things will be up for you to get a snapshot of what the community was like here in this really, really small slice of it all. As when I started, it was just I believe Nerdigans was doing live reactions, and during the time that I started to now, I mean, there's many creators that have done one-off videos or a couple videos, a few that are, or not even a few, one more that's more consistent, like with RZA, or there's a long forgotten one like Zero Lord or Phantom Sage that have been doing it post anime, but post me, or I guess before me. I don't think I'll get emotional when I read this chapter. If you can't tell, I haven't read the chapter yet. It comes out very soon. But even the anticipation of these chapters are a little bit of a nightmare. Not knowing if a chapter would even come out any given month because of how indefinite that kind of hiatus was. I mean, the long one, sure, this was between December 2020 to June 2022. Like, that went on for so long that, people forget, people move on, people go do other things. But I didn't because I had a stake in it. It's as simple as that. With the smaller breaks that we had between, say, 98, 102, 105, like, sure, there might have been like a set period of time, but that time kind of changed back and forth. You never know when something's going to happen, and getting information from, like, leaks or something like that, it's just not, it just doesn't feel good, doesn't feel great. I'd rather afternoon communicate, which, they have once, so I'll give them props for that, but I don't know. I don't know. This series does mean a lot for me. It gave me a form of identity that I didn't have. Obviously, I didn't start with Houseki, and obviously I'm not going to end with Houseki, but it's definitely formative in the kind of ways that I interact with media and how I engage with people outside of myself, because it's fun having those conversations. It's fun reading these comments. It's fun reading messages. It's fun. I mean, it's as simple as that. It's fun when somebody else has an obsession even remotely as close to yours. And it feels good. Without it, would I even care for the series as much? Probably. Maybe not as much. I don't know. I don't even know what to talk about at this point. There's actually a lot I want to, but I think we all know what this ending's going to be like. I think it's pretty obvious with the way that 107 ended. New life, new start, and we pray for happiness, right? Or maybe we're born with happiness to begin with. I am glad that even the thing that I focused and fixated on that made me push to get out a video back in November of 2020, after chapter 94 came out, was this notion of the right eye and what happiness meant. And that seems to permeate throughout the entirety of this stretch of chapters. Sure, 95 could have been a good stopping point. Sure, 98 could have been a good stopping point. That was the end of volume 12. Do we need another volume? Do we need something after that prayer? Some could argue one way or the other, but I'm glad we got more, and I'm glad we got to this stopping point. Ichikawa has managed to take her education, and sure, she doesn't really wear her influences or references on her sleeve as much, but Zen Buddhism and Japanese Buddhism permeates every inch of this series, from the way that she uses her minimalism or black and white spacing to just all sorts of things, seven treasures or whatnot, or what it means to be human and the cycle of life in the form of this brittle but hopeful gem. We all live in these kinds of paradoxes or dichotomies between two opposing things that we want that we end up meeting in the middle. I think Voss is a great representation of that. I think all the side characters are also a great representation of that. I know not everyone agrees with me, but they serve their purpose. And Ichikawa wrote them for that purpose, you know? I don't think I'll cry. Not many series that have made me emotional to that kind of way. Houseki definitely has his emotions. Probably chapter 44 is one that comes to mind. 67 also comes to mind. 92, 95, 97, 107 all come to mind. I think it's just hard for me since I'm just associated to it. Every day is about Houseki, so I don't have that kind of separation to be just a fan of it. Which is fine, I guess. Something that I got put into in a kind of way and asked for it, so I can't complain too much about it. It doesn't feel like an end, even though it most certainly is. What do I even want to talk about at this point? I guess I just want to end on this mellow note, because I am both sad and happy in a more bittersweet, I don't know, multitude of emotions that I'm feeling for the past month, since it's been confirmed that we are ending on this date. I mean, as this video goes up is when the chapter comes out in Japanese, so if you know how to read Japanese, then you'll be reading that, you know? If you want to wait until somebody translates it, you can do that. If you want to wait till volume 13 comes out, the Japanese volume for 13 apparently is coming out this fall in 2024, so I would assume the English volume 13 by Kodansha will be done 2025, give or take. Let's not add copium to this finale in a kind of way where we're getting a season 2 or Ichikawa's coming back for another series or something. Like, I think she deserves all the rest she wants. I mean, as a creator, it's kind of hard to turn that brain off, so she might be back, but there's no rush. In the meantime, you know, I've made a lot of memories through the series by hunting for Diancie or watching a bunch of series. Oh, maybe I have to get on Girls Last Tour or Steven Universe now that I have nothing else to do, but that won't come anytime soon. Yeah, That won't come anytime soon. We got one more live stream for the channel, since don't see myself doing another live stream for any other series at this point, but it'll be out tomorrow, the 25th, like usual. I'll read the chapter on stream, just like I did with chapter 96's return, and then we'll go to until I guess my poor little laptop breaks, and give we're not gonna give a goodbye. I don't really believe in goodbyes. If you couldn't tell from the PV, if you watched it, I'll link it like I normally do. PV, which is like the trailer for the video. Yeah, a lot of good memories. A lot of good memories. Met a lot of good people on the way. Yeah.